and we are officially beginning our live Q&A for the week. So, Lori, I'd love to know where you are, any questions that you have, and I would love for you to introduce yourself before we start.
Oh, thank you, my lovely. Hi, I'm Lorraine. I have the most amazing BA in the world called Jaslyn Martin, and she's just absolutely been amazing, helping myself and Juliet to get our live summit on, and very exciting. We've had great response, which is absolutely brilliant. We've got set up a Facebook group, again on Jaslyn's advice. And my big question is how to interact with this group. I'm putting in a lot of posts, but I'm not getting any responses. I'm putting in things like questions, asking them for feedback, what's happening in their life, what is the interview that's most resonated with them, and that sort of thing. And then reminding them as well that you know, what's coming up tomorrow. Like, for instance, yesterday, I reminded them that there was going to be no interviews for over the weekend. Juliet is putting in posts in there telling them about the daily interviews. So they're getting lots of likes, not many comments, but lots of likes. So I'm just wondering, what am I doing wrong?
So here's the interesting part. You're not doing anything wrong. A lot of Facebook groups, you have how many members in it so far?
And we've got some, gosh, we're near 100.
You got nearly 100? Wow, go you. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the cool part about it. Since you have 100 people, there's so much that you could do, right? Now, the one problem is that a lot of these didn't know you before the summit. So right now they're watching you, not responding, but they're watching, right? So here's what I recommend. The people that are commenting or the people that are liking, you Facebook message them separately and you ask them, hey, would love to know, hey, I'm Lorraine, I'm Juliet, we're part of the summit, and I'd just love to know, where are you? Do you have any questions for me? And just literally you talk to them versus waiting for them to talk to you, okay? And that will guide them. And whenever they're saying like, oh, I loved day 3 and it really changed my world, then you tell them, oh my God, that's so amazing. Can you share that on the Facebook group? You wanna introduce them to the possibility that they can comment and share and get support in the Facebook group. And when you have at least 10 people doing that out of the 100, so about 10%, then you're gonna realize that other people are gonna start doing it without you having to message them, and it's gonna create a trend. Make sense? But right now,
love that, yeah.
It's kind of like, I was actually watching Ellen DeGeneres last night, and she was saying how, you know, many years ago, she ended up coming out that she was a lesbian on TV, and she was hoping that all of the other Hollywood people that are lesbians would also come out at the same time. But instead, she said they were more like mole rats, where they came out and were like, is it safe? Is it safe? Oh, it's not. Okay, let me go back down, right? And they waited until the whole part of the whole telling people that they're lesbians finished, and then they started coming out. So you have to get people to be like, okay, let me see if it's worth it. Let me see if, you know, what's happening. Is it worth me talking and being supportive and being vulnerable? So you have to create that vulnerable space for them. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
And another thing I'd really recommend, first thing is for sure DMing people, the people that do like, the people that do comment, and starting like you talking to them, and just be their friend, be there for them. And then another thing I recommend is doing Facebook Lives. So literally getting on and being like, all right, so we, you know, the whole week has passed by. I would love to hear from you. What have you learned? Here are some things that we've personally learned, and here are some tips that, you know, they went through for the first 5 days. So Dr. Ryan talked about this, Karen Day talked about, and just going through it. And that's going to get them, you know, into you and seeing you. And it's going to send them a notification on their phones saying, Lorraine and Julia are live right now. And that's what you want. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So best time for me, because I don't know where these people come from. So best time for me to do a Facebook Live, have them there with me, would be what time?
So here's the cool part. It doesn't matter. Do something. Especially in the beginning, a lot of people are trying to figure out the hows, but all I want is for you to be messy and moving. You just do it. Okay? So as long as you start doing it, you're going to start, and you can practice like whatever works for you. You may have 8 a.m. this day, 10 p.m. this day, whatever it is, and you're going to realize that sometimes work best than others. And then you just continue
Okay.
doing that. But your ideal clients, the people that are specifically on your group, are going to be different than anybody else's group. So there's no like set time that I can tell you. It's not cookie cutter.
Okay, I just thought there might be a particular time that you found was, you know, much more interactive. People were ready, they were there, they'd hop on,
I
but
could
there
tell you
isn't
the
any.
time, but I'm EST anyways. You get me? I have
Yeah.
people that are more United States, but you probably have more people in, you know, United Kingdom or whatever it is. So you may have a completely different time. I just say test it. That's the only way you can truly know. And here's something else I recommend. You know that survey that you had created a few days ago? And we're going to go into this in week 4, but I'm going to start it now because you're a little bit ahead of time with me since you're working personally with me. Something I recommend is those survey questions that we came up. Since you have a Facebook group, share one a day as a poll. Do you know how to do a poll on Facebook?
No.
Okay, so I'll teach you that later. I'm not going to do it right now. Write something, it gives you an option like create an image, share a file, write a poll. You click poll and little questions will pop up. And I'll do one, let me write it down. I'll do one in the Facebook.
Oh, actually, I have done because I had to do it for Pace. Yes. So I
Yes.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Perfect. So you do one a day. Remember, you can schedule them. So you do one poll a day where you're going through those survey questions. And even if they don't go through all of them, you'll have a few more people answer those. Make sense?
Brilliant idea. I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah.
I gave you 3 ideas for your Facebook group, so you're good. Marlene,
Brilliant.
you're on. If anyone that doesn't know, Marlene's my mommy. I love her dearly. So really quickly, I'd love to hear and have my mom introduce herself. And then Lorraine, I'm going to mute you for a second and we'll come back to you if you have any other questions, okay?
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm Marlene. Hi, everybody. And I'm a life coach trainer. And I'm just listening in to all the wonderful details that you're telling everybody. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Do you have any specific questions on anything going on in your life or specifically on Aligned Action Academy?
Lorraine asked you what I wanted to ask you.
Really?
Thank you, Lorraine.
Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. So I'm glad every time anyone asks a specific question, I notice that other people will have the same questions and it's getting answered. So,
Yes.
okay, perfect. Hi,
Thank you.
Ellie. That's my baby sister for anyone else that doesn't know that. Okay, perfect. All right, mommy. So let me know if you need anything else, okay? And really quickly, since I know both of you are listening, I'm going to mute you, mom. I want to talk about accountability partners. I want you to make sure, and I would love for you girls to put it in the chat if you girls have contacted your accountability partner some way, somehow. And then if you've talked to them and really been able to come up with, you know, what's your daily task for each other, and just doing a thumbs up or thumbs down with each other. So Lorraine, I know you're with Christina. Mom, you have 2 people. You have Rachel and you have Barbara, correct? And then Donna, I know you're just paying attention. You decided to not have a partner, which is perfectly fine again. So you just have to keep yourself accountable, or you can even send me thumbs up and thumbs down if you want. Everyone can send me thumbs up or thumbs down. I created a Facebook group today where all of us are on it. So you girls can go in there as well and be accountable to each other, if anything. But I want you girls to come up with, remember, the idea of Aligned Action Academy is to take action. So every single day, you should be taking some type of action. And to be clear, having a day off is a type of action, okay? So it's not you having to work every day. We are women. We do have a menstrual cycle. If you're bleeding, I don't want you to work, okay? Just to be clear, and I will get into that more, but that is part of alignment. Having that time off is part of alignment with yourself and your cycles, okay? And I'll get into that. That's week 6, I believe. So we'll get really into that then. But I do want to talk about talking to your accountability partners and really being consistent with that, because knowing that it's helping you and it's helping them and you're creating a bond with the new sister, which is really important, okay? And then just having a 15-minute call with them and coming up with, like, for example, if you're writing a book, know that the average is about 50,000 words in a book. So do 50,000 divided by how many days you have left and in the 8 weeks, and see if you can finish your book, or maybe if you do half, whatever feels comfortable to you. Now, here's what I recommend. Do something that's comfortable for you, but also push yourself just a little bit. So if 300 words feels comfortable for you, go for 400 a day and see what happens, okay? And if you want to take a day off, be aware of that and go for 450. So that you can have a day off, of the week. Make sense? So plan it ahead of time. If you already finished week 1, we talked about the Wheel of Life. We talked about going through the entire idea method, which is going to be week 1 through week 8, idea, incubation, breakdown. And I added more stuff to breakdown today, which was awesome. I'm like really excited to show you girls that one. So, and so on. We're going through it. And then I would love to hear more about what you girls learned from your future self and really getting to hear more about that, and also what your Wheel of Life looked like, because your Wheel of Life will end up showing you if your idea is a perfect time for you right now or not. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect time, but your idea will normally hit different areas of your Wheel of Life. And you won't even, it's just an idea of yours, right? Like starting my business was a way to help me financially, helping my career. I have amazing relationships now. It's helped me with my family because I connect with my mom when we're starting different businesses. So figuring out how your idea is going to help you with your different wheels helps a lot too, and ends up getting you motivated and have a bigger why. Why are you doing this? And why do you want to complete this? Reminder that at the end of the 8 weeks, you're going to show whatever you've done. Okay, so I know Marlou's writing a book. Lorraine, you want to have prices for your business and you're changing that up, correct? Okay, so I would love to talk to you more about that just so I can help you out there. And week 4 is going to be huge for you, Lorraine. So make sure that you're on task, because on week 4 for the live Q&A, we're going to go really into it. Okay. Mom, do you have any questions on writing a book? Because I know that Rachel, no, you don't. Okay, so I know Rachel's writing a book as well. She's not on here today, but I'll contact her separately. Lorraine, do you have any questions for me when it comes to your specific idea? What's happening there? Are you taking tasks? What are your tasks weekly?
No, I think I'm okay, Jasmine. I have, I'm getting there, so to speak. Yeah, so that was my main question here today. I have made contact with Christina.
Okay.
Yeah, I have written to her on Messenger. She did write back to my first reply, to my first message. I replied back to hers, but I haven't heard from her in a few days. So I have asked her, what is our time difference? I don't know where she's from. I've told her I'm from the UK. I've also said, she's your time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did ask her that could we get a specific time on a week, once a week, that we could connect and, be accountable to each other. So I'm just waiting for her to reply back, but maybe I need to give her another nudge. I'll give her another nudge.
Yes, please. Christina's a very busy one. I love her dearly. She's like one of my favorite one-on-one clients myself. But I recommend that you stay on top of her. And normally what helps, I'll give you an idea for anybody else that is having problems with their accountability partners. Send 3 times that work for you with your, I forgot what time zone you're in. GMT +1?
No, it's British summertime, BST. So
BST.
Yeah.
So you're in BST, so write down whatever 3 times work for you in 3 different days and allow her to respond to you. Okay. That's always worked with her for me. Yeah. Or you can even send her like the Acuity scheduling link. Just send her like a 15-minute call thing and you get to practice using Acuity scheduling, right?
Okay.
So that may be another idea. So you always want to try different things with your accountability partner. I know I gave my mom 2 because she's my mom and I know she can handle it. So she needs to specifically make sure her times are straight, right? So that'd be perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you, my love.
You're welcome. So I'd love to talk to you, Lorraine, a little bit more about your pricing packages. That's the one thing you wanted to talk about, right? That's your idea?
Well, yeah, but also it was to interact with people as well. So you've given me loads already today, but yeah, let's do this. I was with 2 clients today, this morning, and what I'm seeing is where I'm going. First of all, what am I offering? Because I hadn't a clue. Mm-hmm. So I can see now it's definitely the coaching, and it's definitely finding out what people want in their life and what are they wanting to focus on. So the first thing to do is a bit like what you've done, is to get us to focus on what we want to work on. So it was very much asking key questions. So I had my first dry run this morning, which went really, really well, with a lovely couple who are desperately wanting to start living together, and to create a business, a spiritual business. But they've all blocks in front of them. Their families stop them. They've haven't got the finances, everything. So I know that I'm feeling like as if that is basically my calling, a bit like yourself, isn't it? It's getting people to zone in and see what they want.
Yes.
So how does this then, I don't even know what sort of a package I have to offer. I don't know whether to do an 8-week course, a year-long course, and then to price it. So I don't know any of that.
Okay. Would you like some advice to start off with?
Yes, please.
All right, perfect. So just a heads up, I mean, in the beginning, you do want to focus on which one feels more comfortable to you. So like I've always mentioned, even in week 1, I always talk about like just feeling your heart and breathing it in and seeing what comes to you. If you're saying 8 weeks and 1 year, why do one or the other? Why not come up with a way to do both, right? So, for example, this is an 8-week program, but you also have an opportunity after this if you want to do one-on-one coaching with me. That's separate, and that's 6 or 9 months. That's what feels good to me, right? Because I like having the last 3 months normally off or something like that. So you get to decide on what your system works like, right? And as an example, when you do one-on-one coaching with me, we do 3 calls a month versus 4. And I give you 1 hour each call, so it's 3 hours a month. And the reason I do that is because I have a menstrual cycle. I normally work with women. They have a menstrual cycle. And I want to have that time off for both of us, right? And I want them to have a week off, because this is something for you to think about as a coach. And all the best coaches do this, is they have a week off so that people get used to listening to their inner coach, which we'll talk more about in week 3 as well. Or listening to that future self voice, so that they're not just asking me questions all day long. You want them to get used to listening to themselves and their own intuition. So taking that week off where they're not allowed to message you is practice for them to live without you. Practice for them to trust their own intuition versus having to ask you all the time. Makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's something for you to think about. And so what I'm hearing is you're helping spiritual leaders become entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So you're getting into the business coaching in a spiritual sense.
Yeah, more and more. Yeah.
All right. So welcome to my world. So I can give you examples of like my prices and what I offer. I know that you don't have anything online right now, correct? Besides the Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so here's something to think about. You do have a VIP summit. You have a summit now. So that summit, even though it's about parenthood, maybe you can create a second summit in the future that's going to be aligned to that. So maybe do you want to start a spiritual business as a type of summit or something like that in the future that you can offer your people whenever they do sign up with you? I always offer them, like Christina ends up getting Aligned Action Academy for free because she's signing up for my one-on-one program. Make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Offering them something online so that when you're not there, they have something as well. In the future, I'm creating a VIP membership site. If you're my one-on-one coach, you get that for free, right? So things like that. I'm going to have a subscription box. If you're my one-on-one coaching, you get that for free. So right now, you get to decide. So do me a favor about the pricing. I'm going to give you something that's super simple that anyone listening can do this for your books, for your products, for your coaching, for anything. I want you to create like a little timeline. Okay, so let me see if I can share my screen for the whiteboard really quickly. Yes. You're going to create a little timeline. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, perfect. That was an arrow. That's totally an arrow. Okay. You're going to create a little timeline. Then you're going to decide, okay, for my one-on-one coaching program, because you're going to do one-on-one coaching, correct, Maureen?
Yes. Yes.
So tell me a number. Like, what is a number that feels good to you right now to charge monthly for your one-on-one coaching?
£1,000 per month.
Okay. And do you feel like that's a low number, a high number, or somewhere in the middle?
That's quite a high number.
Okay. So we're going to go for 1,000.
Yes.
Now, could you charge, what's like the lowest that you're willing to charge?
600.
Okay. So your lowest is going to be $600. And that's what feels good to you.
Yeah.
I know this doesn't look the best, but you're going to get the point. Okay. Now for 1,000, do you feel comfortable with that, or is that a stretch for you?
It is a stretch. You know, for the first time, I think it's going to be a stretch for me to accept that amount of money, but I know what they're getting. I just know it's you know, it's going to be worth it for them.
Okay. So how do you feel about 1,100?
Yeah, that's even better.
Okay. 1,200.
No, 1,100.
So 1,200 is going to be that point for you. You already,
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable with that, but 1,100 you were okay with. Notice how $100 can make a difference.
Yeah.
So what if we went for 1,100, would you feel like you're going to give them the world, you're going to be there for them, you're going to show up, and they're going to get the amount that they want monthly from that 1,100?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we just came up with a new price point for you. Here's what you get to do. 1,100 is going to be your thing, or you could even do, how about $1,111? So you can do 1111.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, see, now something that you don't know but you'll learn is 1,111 first off is spiritual, right? And another bit is when you are in the world of online and people are paying you online, you're gonna have transaction fees. So with 1,111, you're probably gonna get like about 1,000 or 1,000 something. Make sense? Remember when you got me as
absolutely.
I ended up losing like 50 or $100 when you first sent me money.
Yes.
You have to put that as part of your pricing and make sure that that feels good to you. Make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we went from you felt okay with 1,000, and now we're at 1,100, and then we talked about 1,111 feeling even better to you. Okay. So now what you get to do is you get to think about, okay, so if I'm offering $1,111 per month working with me, what do I want included with that? Do you want 3 calls per month? Do you want 4 calls? How many calls do you want per week? What do those calls look like?
Yeah, I'm thinking to be 2 calls, 2 1-hour calls a month, and then they would have, I would go on, you know, if they're in a group, I would go on. Oh no, this is a 1-to-1, isn't it?
This is a 1-to-1, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So if something did come up, they would be able to get me on Foxer, anything urgent. So at any time, they would be able to get me on Foxer.
Okay. With a always say 24-hour response, because if you're busy, they need to know that you'll respond minimum of 24 hours.
Exactly. Yeah, within 24 hours that I would respond back to them.
Okay. Are they going to get anything else as well? So they get 2 calls, 1 hour each. So they get 2 hours. 2 hours of your time is $1,111. So 1 hour, just to let you know. Let's see if this feels good to you too. 1,111 divided by 2. So 1 hour of your time is $555.50.
Right. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what else is included in this? Anything else, or do you feel good with that? Like intuitionally, spiritually, you feel good with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, they will be getting PDFs and all sorts of things to try and get them to move along and to see where they need to be and what the sorts of things, getting them focused, you know?
Okay. So now we get to talk about what are the benefits, right? So, well, first off, let's talk about those PDFs. What, how they're going to get a PDF per week, or is it just whenever you feel like it?
Well, certainly to start off, and I think they'll need roughly a week to 2 weeks to digest the information from the first lot, and then with them giving their responses back to me, I get them to keep me up to date with how they're getting on, the exact same way as you do with us, that they keep accountable to me as well as to themselves. Then I can put in more as I feel that they are needing it. Okay. Not overwhelming them. I don't want to overwhelm them, and I want to give them a chance to work through what they need to work through. And at the same time, they will have me available if they get blocked or if they get overwhelmed.
Okay. Can I offer something to you that I think is something that a lot of people will like?
Yeah.
So I do, or I used to, I don't do this anymore, but I used to do something called spot coaching, which is if they need me for 15, 30 minutes, you get to decide on the amount of time. If they need me, like something's happening in their life, I don't want to get into specifics, but let's say someone got in a car accident and they really feel like they need to talk to their coach really quickly and it's not time for that call because they only have 2 calls a month. They have this opportunity where they get, let's say the 1,100 is a 6-month one-on-one coaching, 1,100 for 6 months, whatever it is. Then
Yeah.
get 2 spot coachings available in those 6 months, right? You decide what feels comfortable to you, but a spot coaching is like they text you like, hey, can I have a 15-minute call with you? And then you have an hour to respond and say yes or no, or what times works for you in that day if you have time available. Make sense? So if they need, if there's a breakup, if they have a fight with their kid, if they just need something, you need to talk to somebody, they're having a breakdown, that day you're there for them. Does that make sense?
Brilliant. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So that's something I used to offer and everybody loved it. It gets a little complicated when you have 5, 10, but you can offer it to the first 5 people that join you. Make sense?
Yeah, because I'm not expecting to have many one-to-ones, to be honest with you, initially, certainly, because I want to do it online, to have the parenting online as well. So yeah, so that makes total sense.
Okay, perfect. So I have a question for you. Well, really quickly, in that 1,111, they're gonna pay month to month, or are you gonna end up having a package where they get it for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year, and they get different prices?
I was thinking month to month on over a year.
Okay. I
for the 11, yeah.
That you have, like, let's say 2 to 3 packages, and you get to decide the different, like, for example, 1,111 is what feels good to you month to month. So if they want just 1 month with you, it's 1,111. But you said your minimum that you're willing to do is 600. Let's go with like 800. And if they do a year long with you, it's $800 per month. But they have a contract for a year. Does that make sense?
That sounds good. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now like they have to pay X amount, except for, if something happens in their life, they need to let you know 2 months or a month in advance or whatever it is, but they have to pay X amount to get out of the contract. That's what you get to decide on. You get to decide what your contract looks like, right?
Yeah.
Make sense? So now you get to decide, if I want 6 months with them, then maybe it's $900 per month for 6 months. And they get blank, blank, and blank. If I want whatever, make sense? And that's why we decide on a really big number to start off with, because you're going to end up having other price points up to that bottom, that 100. Make sense? That you can feel comfortable with. Make sense?
Brilliant. Love that. Love that. Yeah.
And a lot of people remember live paycheck to paycheck. They're not us. So always offer bi-weekly plans as well. That's what feels comfortable to a lot of people.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Wouldn't have thought of that at all. So bi-weekly plans as well to offer.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I want to hear more about that. So whenever you can, either I would love for you to put it in Aligned Action Academy and say, this is what we talked about in the live Q&A. This is what I came up with. I have this, and this plan. And then people would normally go for the middle plan. So let's say you have a month to month, a year, and 6 months. A lot of people will go for the 6 months. Make sense? And it's a better discount, whatever it is, and you name it that way. And you can give them different things, like more spot coaching is another thing that they get, as well as better prices per month, right? So 6 months they get 2, a year they get 5, and that's gonna get them like time with her. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So create that and then put it in the group. And I also want you to think of one more thing for me, and really it's for you. What are the benefits that they're gonna get at the end of that month, 6 months, or year-long program working one-on-one with you? Come up with not the features, because we talked about it. They're going to get Voxer, they're going to get PDFs, but what benefits are they going to get from it? Are they going to have peace of mind? Are they going to talk to their angels? Are they going to have a spiritual business lined up? what is it at the end goal that they're going to get, right? So I'll give you an example. For me, I have a 6-month I don't have less than 6 months, because to start a business, you need to sit with me for 6 months and we need to like plan it out, right? Like it's necessary. And then I have a 9-month program. If you want to start getting clients and like really get into it and really start making money, then I recommend the 9 months. But notice that there's 2 different benefits to it. Make sense?
Yes.
People are like, ooh, well, I want to start a business and I want to get clients, so I'm going to go for the 9 months. And it's cheaper because at the end of the day, you know, it's less per month. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And people end up going for the bigger amount if you explain it in that way.
Cool.
Make sense?
Yeah, total sense. Thank you.
Okay, you're like, yeah, I like this. Okay, cool. So I'm going to stop and come back. So it's 12:32. So I feel like we're good. Now, before we get off, Lorraine, I'd love to know where you are in the week-to-week program so far. We're done with week 1. The module's out. Were you able to complete it all?
I have completed just week 1, love.
Perfect.
Completely. Yeah. So I am starting week 2 now, literally this evening, and doing some time tomorrow on it as well.
Week 2, is it out already? It's supposed to be out on Monday.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I thought it was out.
No, it shouldn't be. Unless I did something wrong technically, but it should be out on Monday officially, and then you can start working on it. Just make sure, have you done all the PDFs for it? You've done the 10-minute meditations. You've done that. Look at you.
Yeah.
Yay!
All printed out, yeah.
I love it when I see my PDFs printed out. Yay! Okay. Can you share pictures or what was the biggest thing that you got from week 1 with the group?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So you're sharing 2 things. You're sharing what's the biggest thing you got from week 1, what you learned from it, or you can share pictures of your PDFs if you feel comfortable, just so we can motivate other people. See how I'm doing the same thing I told you to do in the beginning with the Facebook groups, right? Motivating you to share so that we have other people sharing. And then I want you to share what you learned from this live Q&A so I can get more girls on here, and then other people that are starting their businesses can hear that too, so they get to see it. Make sense?
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Right.
Yay.
I'm so excited. I'm just so loving this.
I'm glad you're liking it. All right, perfect. So Lorraine, thank you for having me here, and thank you for spending time with me. Donna, Marlou, thank you so much, and I appreciate you girls being here. Donna, I know you couldn't speak today, but I'm hoping that next live Q&A you can make just a little bit of time so I can get to do this with you too. Okay? All right. Love you girls. I'm going to stop the recording.